welcome back to a special episode of the Knits for the Soul podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm recording this for you from central Germany, where I live with my son and my dog. So I'm sitting again in front of my yarn cabinet in my living room, and I wanted to talk to you about the yarns I have down there that I have had in bags forever because they are destined for special projects. So let's dive in. So I apologize for crinkling in advance. I'm really sorry. I have everything in those Ziploc bags or in project bags that keep Ziploc bags as well. In here, in my first bag, I have hand spun yarns I got from friends. So my friend Denise is hand spinning, so she gifted me a lot of German merino or Coburger Fuchs yarns in their natural colors or in something she dyed. So and I have Adelaide Walker merinos that I bought in Edinburgh in 2015. I gifted those to my friend Margit, who also spins, and I didn't expect anything to get anything back, but she gifted those back to me. So I have a couple of more colors of this, and because their weight was fitting, this is a bit thicker, they are part of my night shift shawl. So you see that in my next episode. So I have a lot of thicker hand spun yarns in here. I'm not sure where I will incorporate those, but yeah, so there is going to be definitely something special. And I love how those I got from Margit are working with a night shift shawl. Then, something funny I have to show you. When I still had my shop, I went to those yarn, well, it's not a fair in that sense, you know, but where you find business partners, you know. So the H&H in Cologne is something for crafters where you find new suppliers and everything for your shops, and that is knitting, crocheting, sewing, weaving, everything. And I went there every year, and one year I met the very nice guys of the Borgio de Pazzi company from Italy, and I got a huge box of yarn to try, and I still have one huge skein of I think it is supposed to be used for arm knitting. That was a thing a couple of years back. I don't even know if that is still done. It is unspun. It is actually roving, held together with another thread. Do you see that? So this is so soft. I personally would not knit with this. Lots of people, as I think the We Are Knitters, are selling these huge skeins with a roving kind of like yarn, and people make blankets out of that. If you have that as an accent blanket or some eye catcher and it's just living on the back of your couch or something, I think it's okay. But you can't use it because it is not plied. You could just pull out the fibers. It's going to pill like hell, and if you really use it, it will very soon look awful. So what you see here is a leather bracelet, and I use this skein. As a shawl. Of course you could just... You could also wind this together a bit more closely so that it's more it's drapier. Yeah, so I have just kept, I didn't wear it last winter, so, but this is something you could also do. Just a leather bracelet, then wind it in the width you would like, and then you have an accessory. Yeah, so that is a dog, I'm sorry. So he's annoyed that I'm sitting here and talking to you. Sorry. I'm sorry. Then I have a bag from one of those fairs as well. So this is the Gia by Borgio de Pazzi as well. It's an I-cord yarn. And I will also use this with the Ordine wool and my own I-cord for that blanket that is to be. And then I have two rooster yarns here, a silky lace and a bamboo silk sock undyed, because I was dyeing yarn back then, and I tried out several companies. That's how, so this quality is just breathtaking. If you could touch this right now. This is yeah, unbelievably soft and nice. The next bag I have is for, I started when the pattern came out. It's the Ulm shawl by Trin Anneli, and I started it, and the combination I had, the colors and the yarns, well, I didn't like that. So I unraveled that part, used the yarns for something else, and now I have skeins I would like to use. At this point, I'm not even sure if they are enough. I just hope so. So I have some Falkland merino here in the natural, or this is bleached, but in the natural colorway. So I would like to pair it with this Cory Confetti by La Bien-Aimée. When the update came out, I really had to have this, and I'm a bit bummed I didn't buy two skeins more, seriously. I should have done this. It took forever to arrive because shipping from France to Germany, it is like sending a mule ridden by a goose from Australia to Siberia via Africa up to Europe. Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah, that is nothing to do with La Bien-Aimée, not at all. It is just the customs between France and Germany. The other way around, it's the same. It is awful. Well, I'm not sure if this is a historically based issue, but shipping between those two countries is a nightmare. It's awfully expensive and it's a nightmare, but the yarn is worth it. So, and then I have a contrasting hand spun yarn. Momentarily forgot what it was. It is spun by a friend of mine. It is some awesome, let me just look that up. I haven't put it in here. Damn. So this is going to be one of the contrasts, and then because she has that light pink in it, I want to do that as well. So, but these are the basics. So the color pops I want to take from the Nupsies in the Cory Confetti, and then this is going to be an awesome Ulm shawl. And when I think back on this stash episode I recorded for you, I have so many shawls. The next bag holds the yarns I would like to use for the Tabula sweater by Maya Müller. That was a pattern in the Pom Pom Quarterly Winter 2017. So like, that was just recently, right? Totally recently. Anyway, the main color, so here's a picture. The main color for that sweater is going to be a Wollmeise twin in the color Ahoy. I have 3 skeins of that. And the contrasting colors are going to be hand-dyed Blueface Leicester minis I got from my friend Melanie of the Tabby Cat Fiber Arts. I have many of those skeins in several colors. It is a wonderful yarn. So here you see a very light aqua and some bluish tinged light gray. And I'm going to pair this, so the triangle probably is going to be a Marilou, Bremont Marilou in the color 2903. So this 25 grams? No, 50 grams, 200 meters. It is a single ply yarn. That was so expensive. I bought this in the local yarn store here in Halle. And I just love the color. So this is blowing out a bit here on camera because I'm losing the light very quickly today. But it is a mustardy yellow, lightly tinged with green. But compared with those, this is going to be such a beautiful sweater. I'm currently knitting the Night Shift sweater by the Night Shift shawl by Andrea Mowry in a malt Aran weight British yarn, a Wensleydale, with some leftover 6-ply sock yarns with hand spun merinos by my friend Margaret and by Denise, and several other things that I thought fit. But I also want to knit the shifty sweater, maybe the cardigan, but I'm not sure yet. So for that, I have a lot of yarn set aside since forever. The main color is, so there are a lot of those Blueface Leicester minis hand-dyed by my friend Melanie. So the main color is this pretty gray. So the light is not very favorable now, but it is a bit darker than it now appears on the screen. The dog, sorry. So, and contrasting to this, I have this nice blue and this purpley blue and this light vanilla maybe. So I used a bit of that for some of my sock tube socks I showed in one of the last episodes. So this is not a full skein, but there is more yellow. And then also coming into that shifties, I have a lot of yarns. I can play around as much as I like. Are a Wolkenschaf 4-ply merino. So this is a German hand dyer. I'm not even sure if they are still dyeing yarn. I bought this at the Yarn Festival in Hamburg 2014. Was it 2014? So I had grays in this. I think I de-stashed those. No one wanted this. It's a light Schilf colorway. It appears very golden now on the screen, but it is more greenly tinged. Yeah, so this one. And then from the Yarn Festival in Leipzig 2019, I guess. 2018. I bought a malt sock yarn by Wolli Carter. in this. So you see there are all the yellows and the grays, and then there are reds and purples. So that will correspond amazingly with the other stuff I have. And then I have a Garthana Preselli and a little Artesano definition sock sample and some leftover yarn. This is all going into that as well. So with a huge amount of yarn I have for this sweater, there's definitely going to be leftovers, of course, but that doesn't matter. So I can play around all I like with the colors. These are all of the yarn, and that is a lot of yardage I have in the bottom cabinet of my yarn cabinet that are actually intended for projects in my queue. So I have a lot of ideas or a lot of designs in my queue. I really would like to knit kind of right now at the same time and possibly finish like tomorrow. So in my stash episode, I showed you the unspun yarns. I want to knit the Aito shawl by Melody Hoffman. Then I showed you the Malabrigo Arroyo. I want to knit a cozy hubby by Marjana Kowacek. I showed you the Fiber Tales Gotland yarn I want to use for the Fleurist carding by Sari Nordlund. I also want to knit the Var socks by Lerke of Fiber Tales. I just talked about the Tabula sweater. I wanted to knit this forever. I think I queued this 3 years ago. I would like, for everything, I think I also have the patterns. So it's actually nothing is holding me back but the time. I also want to knit this boys cardigan by Lone Kjeldsson. She is Hyggestrikk. I put in pictures. I also have the pattern for her Kreiners coat I want to knit. That is so amazing. Will probably take me 10 years to finish with all those cables. The Ulm shawl by Trin Anneli. I would really like to knit the Corbis shawl by Natasja Hornby. I would like to knit the Flora sweater by Marjana Kowacek. I also have the pattern of Caitlin Hunter's Wellerman shawl. Oh my god, there's so many shawls. I'm crazy. Then I showed you the Fiber Tales I want to use for the Agatha sweater by Mummy Factory. That is such a pretty sweater. I mean, isn't it gorgeous? And yeah, well, the Stockholm sweater in the V-neck version by Petty Knit is something I would really love to knit. Then I showed you the Jules Genser by Sandnes Garn. And the Cumulus blouse by Petty Knits is also on my list. I would like to knit. Then something that will need years and years probably to actually be cast on is the Medea blanket by We Are Knitters, because I'm going to knit the I-cord. Yeah, I also would like, this is something I would like to knit this year for the upcoming Christmas. I would like to have a Christmas sweater. So my son and I, we have store-bought Christmas sweaters, and he really liked that. And I think he can wear mine this upcoming Christmas because it was a size bigger, I think, than the one he got. So he can wear that as well. And I would like to knit a Christmas sweater for myself. And that is the one by Sandnes Garn I put here. That is a free pattern. You can download this, I think, also on the Sandnes Garn website, but also on other sellers of Sandnes Garn. Well, it's a free pattern. Was that? I think that it's also downloadable via Ravelry. Yeah, it is so pretty. And I bought the Northerly sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I really loved the versions I saw on Instagram, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is this pattern? It's so pretty. And then it was linked back to Caitlin Hunter's Ravelry store, and she had a discount, and bam, I had to buy it. Yeah. So, and I would really like to knit the baggy hat by Petite Knits. It's a very, very simple hat, and I would like to knit it with my Drops alpaca and the Drops brushed alpaca silk I used for my Amy slip over. So I have a corresponding hat to that slip over. Yeah. So where is the time to do that? I probably just, yeah, stop recording now and get back to knitting. So thanks for stopping by this short episode. And yeah, I really, really, really like the yarns I have in my stash, and it's a really treasure trove, a real treasure trove for me, and I would like to knit everything right now. Maybe it's the same for you. Yeah, just let me know, what is the next pattern you really, or the next project you would really, really like to cast on right now. So I would love to hear from you. Okay, thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye.